Hi, it's Lisa, and I have been asked by my divine teachers to do a channeled message for you today. And so I think I will. All right, so I'll see who wants to come in. I'm going to close my eyes as I do this. So really, you can just close your eyes too if you want to. All right, so let's go. Okay, so Prince is here. Prince is always here. Um, Yes, thank you. So he wishes to greet you, all who are watching this, and remind you that these are unprecedented times. And part of the reason that he left the physical was to be able to assist in a bigger, broader, more expansive way. In addition to his work in the physical being done, he's telling me that there was much to do. And there are many who looked to him for his leadership. I wanted to say guidance, and he said, no, leadership. Because just as he was on the stage and he would command his band with the snap of his fingers, and he's not saying he's doing that to you all, but he's saying that he's a natural leader and people look to him. And many of those who were very, very fond of him in his physical life have become even more so and in a different way since he left the physical. So he wants to remind you in a loving way that these are unprecedented times. And if you're feeling unsettled or lost, that it's okay, this will pass. And the guidance he has for you today is to really just settle into what can you take away from this time so far. So if you think back to when this global transformation event happened, predominantly in March in the United States and around Europe, what is different for you now than it was just what, 2.5 months ago? What is different? What have you noticed? What have you noticed about yourself as you were kind of forced to release all of the distractions and release all of the things that you were kind of just going day to day, take the kids here and cook dinner here and do all of these things outside your house? When you have had that limited by forces much larger than yourself, not talking government, talking the world, then what happens to you? What do you feel? What are you thinking about as you are walking forward through this? Some have had a lot of feelings come up about a lot of different things. Those things that became such a part of your life. And here he's talking to me about people who were very, very deep into sports as a pastime and a hobby and whatever else. He's telling me, like, what are you doing with the time that you had invested into that? What are you doing with the time that you spent driving your kids around? And here I want to say, he's not saying to you, like, those are bad things. He's just asking you to look at where your attention is now, when all of those things sort of disintegrated almost in an instant. What do you find yourself doing? What do you find yourself feeling? Because we will come out of this, and we will come out of this in stages. So he's showing me, like, what's that on the hokey pokey? You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out, put your left foot in, put your left foot out. He's showing me, like, it's going to be very much like that, in and out, and in and out. Those of you watching this probably understand that nothing will be the way it was. Everything has changed. And even in 2 years' time, we're going to look back at this and see very much before and after. So the before is now in a space that kind of is right there, right stuck there. And then you get to create the after. So he's saying that before, we had all of us had gotten into a routine of going and doing and blah and getting and da 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 da, and then boom, it all came to a halt. And so in the time that you've had so far, what's come up for you? And can you look at that in a loving way? Can you allow whatever that is to come up and just really be what it is? And then think about what you would like to create. What is showing up for you? What feels different? Thank you. He also says, and then we'll wrap this up and I have a couple words to say. He's also saying that it's been time, it's past time, it is past time, that should have taken place, should have taken place. And then yet he's also saying everything in divine right order. So was it overdue? Yes. And when it happened, was it exactly right? Yes. So use this time to really look at all the things that have come up for you and what has served you. What about the quietude has served you? What about it makes you feel very uncomfortable? What do you miss? What would you like to have open up in a way that really brings you joy? Okay, thank you, Prince out. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and say a couple things. In the quiet is when you can hear your soul. And it is sometimes very challenging when you are doing so much by necessity for those of you, families and jobs and everything. By necessity, you're doing a lot. But that makes it hard to hear your soul, to hear the calling of your soul. And sometimes that calling is so subtle so that you can say yes. Sometimes that calling is really loud and in your face and it drives you crazy and you can't not respond. For me, it's been somewhere in between the two. It's been subtle, subtle. Oh, did you hear us? Subtle, subtle. Right? And so I know, and this is what I want to tell you about this. I know when my soul is calling me, and the human part of me sometimes doesn't want to go because I am uncomfortable. I got my butt yipped at yesterday by Prince because I had said that I choose big, meaning I'm choosing to be a bigger version of myself. I choose big. And so last night, as I was getting into bed and saying my little prayers at night and whatever, he was like, choose big? And he said, you're still playing small. You're still playing small. And so he said that he suggested, let's put it that way, he suggested that 3 videos a week, 3 channel videos a week are needed. And it doesn't matter what I channel about, it just matters that I do it. All right. But if I say that my work is to be a channel, then hello, I must get out there and channel. So sometimes it's subtle and they give you an opportunity to step forward, and sometimes you have to get kicked in the butt by Prince. And he always does it lovingly, and I hear him and I'm like, I hear you, okay. But it's okay if the human part of you is a little unwilling. It's okay. That's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon. Or get my butt kicked again.